Okay, so we got a couple of 1.4 liter turbo engines here, and wanting to show you where location of this crank sensor for your Fiat 1.4 liter, and it's kind of hidden. So first of all, you're going to have to go to the front of your car, find the exhaust. You're going to be looking up in here, and it's not going to be very easy to get to this. At the very least, you're going to probably need to remove your exhaust. So you're going to see your exhaust sitting there, and you're going to have to unhook all that. So this is where that exhaust was bolting to this bracket, and then you're going to come right up here. You're going to see this like heat shield, and then we have this wire that's running all the way up here, and this is all part of this crank sensor. And you can see the wire runs right up here, and it clips on. So then you've got a safety lock. You're going to have to get that pulled back, and you'll disconnect this, and then you'll want to go in here with a trim tool and disconnect that. You see it clips in here, and it also clips in right here. So you got a few places you're going to have to unclip your wire, and you're going to kind of run it back through here, and that's just to get to that part. Okay, then we're going to have a 10mm bolt, a 10mm nut for the heat shield. So I don't think I would attempt it with that exhaust in the way. It's going to be too difficult to get in here to this. We'll get the 10mm nut here. We'll go ahead and pull this off. And you're really going to need like a 4mm hex. You can see this, just a hex or an Allen. You probably could get in here with a little one, the little right angle one, but it's right in here. Here is the Allen headed bolt. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can get this loose here, if you can see anything. We're just going to get it completely loose. The bolt should stay attached to the sensor here. Alright, so it's completely loose. Now, what we got here, this sensor, it kind of goes in here and clips on this aluminum part. I'll try to get you in there to see it in a minute, but it's just kind of clipped in there at this point a little bit, so we have to start pulling this out. And you may need to get yourself a little pick tool. So I've just got this pick tool with the hook, and kind of going right here and grabbing a hold of it. And I'm just going to kind of pull a little bit at the front, pick up a little bit on the bottom. And just kind of, you want to work this thing until you can get it loose. Just don't want to get too rough and bend up anything or gouge the aluminum up here. So it may take you a minute. You can see I'm just kind of pulling up. It's just a tight fit. It's, it goes back in easier than it comes out of here. Alright, there we go. We were just kind of hung up a little bit. So there we have it. Let me see if I can get you in here. So see how it goes in there and it clips in that spot, and then it bolts down there. So it reads off the back of that crank there. So when you get your new one, it's the reverse process. We're just going to feed that right back into place there. And we'll get make sure to get this started by hand before you put a wrench on it, so you don't get it cross-threaded. Right, so we're just fastening it back down. It doesn't have to be real tight when you get it snugged. And what I realize here, it really helps to have that sensor seated all the way before you try to start that bolt. because then it just makes it harder to get it started. And you don't want to cross thread it for sure. I said I'm just running it all the way down just with my fingers before I snug it up. It doesn't take a lot to tighten this. Alright, so at this point just put the heat shield back on and you just reconnect the wire up here. Right, so that's all there is to getting the sensor in and out. Of course, like I said, you're going to have to remove some other things to be able to get to this easily. But just wanted to take the time to show you this location because it is kind of hidden. And while we're at it, this here is actually a Dodge Dart engine, a 1.4 liter. Now they are pretty much the same engine, but I just want to go ahead while we're at it. I want to show you, because there are some differences. I want to show you the location of the crank sensor on this. So as you can see, this one's pretty easy to get to. It snaps in on this part of this front timing cover here, and it just rides off of this reluctor ring right here on the crank pulley. So pretty easy to access this. Same sort of sensor with a little gray locking tab there, but really easy to access and be able to replace this one. Alright, so that's going to do it on this video on this crank sensor location on this Fiat 500 1.4 liter, and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and thanks for watching.